It is called We Shall Remain. It's a 5-part series looking at American Indian history and culture.
And joining us with more on this is our local culture expert, Officer Phil. Good morning.
Well, I don't know about culture expert, but at least a little
Indian
bit of
culture,
American
sure.
Indian culture.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been done a lot of research, and okay, Dan jokes me I'm almost a quarter Cherokee.
Quarter, there you go.
All right. It's not often one television station talks about a program on another station, but we thought you might appreciate a special 5-part series airing on PBS. It's also available on their website. It's called We Shall Remain, and it looks at American Indian integrity and perseverance over the course of more than 300 years. Now, each episode focuses on an important historical event and usually concludes with a short contemporary story that links to the past and the present. Now, one of the things the series does best is provide the often unheard American Indian side of historical fact. And as a bit of an expert in the field, it's happy to see the historical accuracy of the first episode, which aired last night. Now, it looks at the interaction between the indigenous people of New England and the original English settlers, with almost everyone having heard about the first Thanksgiving. Very few people know much about the events before and after this highlight in American Indian history and American history. Now, through reenactments, contemporary expert commentary, this time in American Indian history is covered in great detail. Now, an upcoming episode looks at this person here. This is Tecumseh. He's an American Indian leader who tried to unite all of the vastly different tribes and often antagonistic tribes into one political entity which could stand up to the growing American Republic. Now, what you're seeing here is this is the 3rd episode, which looks at the behind-the-scenes events which led the Cherokees' removal from the American Southeast, which is known as the Trail of Tears. Many people have heard of that. Now, you see Wes Studi there on the left. Well, you often hear him speaking in his native Cherokee language. Now, he's been in Dances with Wolves, the Last of the Mohicans, several other movies, but actually, did you realize that he didn't speak English until he started entering the public schools? So when he's talking Cherokee, that's his native language. Now, you see here, this is Geronimo. He's the focus of episode 4, and it looks at this spiritual and military Apache leader, and you might be surprised to see how a small band of Apaches can outrun and often outsmart the American Army. And finally, the series looks at the Battle for Wounded Knee, which took place between members of the American Indian movement and local and federal authorities in 1971 in South Dakota. Now, this unique program will give most people a look at history they seldom have heard from their teachers, and each of the 5 episodes is an hour and a half. It airs Tuesday evenings at 9 p.m. on the link here on our website at KUSI.com. And the nice thing is, if you want to keep watching KUSI only, you can see most of the, or actually all the episodes on the website. And we'll have a link to that later today.
You know, over the weekend, we took a drive. We were in Palm Desert, and we went the mountain way, and we passed, I think, 2 Indian reservations. There's a lot of history right here.
You probably went through more than that. San Diego County has more Indian reservations than any other county in the United States. There's 19 reservations here, and it's more than most states, in fact. Oddly enough, people think of Oklahoma, they think of Indian reservations. There's only just a couple of small ones up there. Texas has 2. And they're both
And how
very
many
small.
people are on these reservations total in San Diego County?
San Diego County, several thousand. You don't have to live on a reservation to be American Indian. I'm a citizen of the Cherokee Nation. I've lived in San Diego. I've never lived on, well, actually, my tribe of Cherokee doesn't have a reservation. They doled out all the land back in the 1900s. Yeah. So you don't have to have a reservation to be Indian.
And I remember Wounded Knee, remember Marlon Brando making a big statement there.
Jane Fonda actually went out there, dropped in supplies to help the militants. And you know, this was a militant group of American Indians. So,
yeah.
You know, they came in. Some folks said that they were outside agitators, too. So.
Interesting. So we can see it on KPBS,
yep.
And there's a link on the KUSI website as well. Thank you, Phil.
Historically accurate, and that's good.
Very interesting.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
Author of how many books? On American Indian culture?
American Indian, 4 books on American Indians, and I have 2 more books coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Well, if it holds up to your test, I think we're okay.
I think we are.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
All right.